got Smiling Sam Alvey back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Little Nog at UFC Fight Night 137 on September 22nd. Sam, how are you today? I imagine pretty damn good.
Oh, I'm feeling wonderful today. It's a good day. It was my little girl's first day of kindergarten today.
Oh, excellent. How is that as a father? You know, I know you fighters, you always have to have this tough exterior, but when you see the little one going off to school, how did that make you feel?
Oh, that was sad. I mean, happy and sad. I got to walk her to school. Our school's just down the street, so I got to make her breakfast in bed. I got her up, got her all packed up, and she was so excited. So it was a good morning.
Good to hear, man. Well, things have been going really well for you lately, especially in the 205-pound weight class. You're coming off that win over Gian Villante at UFC Fight Night 131, and I know there was a split decision, but you must have been pretty happy getting another win at light heavyweight.
Yeah, I was upset with the split, but I guess that's my fault.
Yeah.
I'll have to try a little harder to make sure that's not the case this next time.
Yeah, what did you take away from that performance that you bring into this fight? You always learn more, from fights like this that are close than you would necessarily a dominant win.
I've always been. I think I have the lowest punch count in the UFC or close to it, and I got to work on that. I can't be so timid. I dropped him in the first, and I just kind of coasted off that. I was sure, you know what? I'll just land that one punch again, and he'll stay down there. And I couldn't find that one punch again. So I did enough to win, but I didn't do enough to win the way I wanted to.
Fair enough. So they tell you you're fighting Little Nog Antonio Rogerio Nogueira. Were you surprised at all? Because, he hasn't fought that much. He's one of those guys that gets a little bit forgotten in the light heavyweight division.
Surprised, no. I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but I wasn't surprised. They like giving me big name fights like that, and especially that I get to fight down in Brazil. I don't know if it's his hometown, but it's his home country.
Yeah.
So it's a cool fight to be a part of. I know the crowd is not going to be in my corner until the end of the fight, so I just got to work hard to get them there.
Yeah, and when are you heading down to Brazil? Because I know you like to plan that stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, I think I'm getting down there. I fight on the 22nd. I think I'm getting there on the 14th.
Oh, great. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to be there early. I'm going to get to experience the town, hang out with everyone, and it'll be fun.
That's great. Let's talk about Little Nog. Obviously, he's got that 22-8 record. How do you feel like you match up against him?
You know what? I like the matchup. He's fought legends of the sport, and he's beaten legends. He beat my coach, Hendo, a lot of years back. So I'm just going to add his name to my vengeance tour. Anyone that's beaten my coach, Hendo, is going to get a piece of Sam.
Of course, yeah. You got to get that revenge there. How is training camp going at Team Quest? I heard Joe Stevenson is working with you guys now. Like, how's the morale been at the camp?
It's been great, and we've been bigger than ever. Joe Stevenson, he's the team's Dan Henderson's Athletic Fitness Center. He's the new jiu-jitsu coach there. He just coached the first jiu-jitsu tournament this last Saturday, and he's actually going to come down with me to Brazil. He's a great coach. I mean, he's borderline legend of the sport. He's fought the best and beaten half of them. And so I'm very excited to include him in my camp.
Has Joe brought any of his guys over to come train with you guys, or is he just a one-piece deal of the package?
No, he's brought a lot of his guys out. Jamal,
don't worry about it. Casualty of being a dad. I hear you, man. It's all good.
Yeah. Dom Reyes.
I was going to ask you about him because Dom's obviously very talented. I was wondering if you got to work with him. That's great.
Yeah, and he's a big, tall southpaw, so he's been a big part of this camp for me, and he's super talented. I'm very, very blessed to be part of his team too.
And I imagine just training with the regular big guys, Jared Vandera, guys like that are really. Is Sokoudjou back there, I imagine, or no?
Yep, Sokoudjou comes in. Sokoudjou's, it's the funniest thing. Had he fought every fight in the practice room, he'd be undefeated. He would be the greatest fighter there's ever been. He's better than everyone. He's the guy that keeps Hendo in check.
Okay, that's interesting. One guy I wanted to ask you about, obviously some unfortunate news, Chris Curtis. I always talk about him on here. He had that great win on Contender Series, didn't get the contract. I don't know what this guy had to do to get signed to the UFC. Have you talked to him at all? Because I know he said retirement, but I imagine he's got to be on a short list for the UFC if they ever want to call him back.
Yeah, we've talked. He lived out with me for the last bunch of his camps, and so we're talking. He just got his cast off. He's rehabbing it now, and he's going to fight again. I'm sure of it. He's even hinting. When he first lost, he said, "I'm done." And I said, "Curtis, just keep it to yourself. Just be quiet about it. We will just keep it down." And now he was very vocal about his disappointment, but. He had his time off, time to relax, time to hang out with his family, and I think he's ready to beat some people up again.
Yeah, and how do you not sign a guy who's singing the Baywatch song after he wins the fight? I mean, that in itself should earn himself a UFC contract.
It should have. He's good enough to be in the UFC. He's good enough to beat some good guys in the UFC. So he'll get his chance. I'm sure of it.
How's the weight cut going? I know 205, way better than 185. I imagine, you're always smiling, so it's tough to tell how the cut's going, but I imagine it's going well.
It is. I'm dieting down. I'm under 220 now, and it's going very well. And I get to eat a little bit more than I do at 85. I'm still pretty strict diet. I've been working with Lockhart and Leith for
Excellent.
the last couple of years now, and they've got me set up and where I'm coming down slowly, and I'll be peaking on my diet about fight week.
Fantastic. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight? I know your wife's always there. Anyone else going to be in the corner with you?
Yeah, my wife's going to be there. She's chief corner. I'm going to have Joe Stevenson, and then actually Hendo himself's going to come down.
Nice. That's
yeah,
good.
my boxing coach, he's getting his green card, or he's getting citizenship.
Yes.
And so he's not allowed to leave the country until he gets that at this point. So it's funny, we're going to his hometown in Brazil, but he won't be there. So I get Hendo to come down and help me win.
Fantastic. How do you see this fight unfolding on September 22nd?
He doesn't have as many fights as me, but he's got bigger fights than I do. Mm-hmm. So he's been everywhere I've been. He knows how to fight anywhere the fight goes. He tends to be a stand-up guy, but you also know he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and not afraid to use it. So I'm just getting ready for everything. I don't really have a game plan as far as what I think he's going to do. I'm just going to be ready to stop it and counter it.
What's next for you after this fight? I mean, I know you're not looking past Little Nog here, but you've been making quite the run at 205. Are you kind of eyeing anyone after this, or want to keep things going, keep that Donald Cerrone schedule going?
I would love to keep that Donald Cerrone schedule. I know there's a fight in Milwaukee later this year. I don't know if I'm going to get on it, but I know I'm going to ask for it because that's just. I mean, I'll have 4,000 people there just for me.
Right.
And I don't know how big the arena is, but I know I will help fill that card. So I'm not sure who. I would like to climb the ranks. I know Anthony Smith, he called me out that time before, and he's just been jumping all over the place, so it probably won't be him. But we'll see. I'll take anyone at any time.
Okay. And I saw you saw Mission Impossible over the weekend. How was it?
Oh, it was awesome. The movies have always been kind of enjoyable, a little hard to follow. It's been good enough. This one was phenomenal. I mean, it was, from moment one, it was just action-packed, and it was Tom Cruise. He might be a little bit of a weirdo, but that dude, he does some good stunts on his own.
And speaking of doing some stunts, we might see some here on September 22nd. It's UFC Fight Night 137. Sam, it's always good talking to you. I always appreciate the time. Just to remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hit me up. I'm at Smilin' Sam. That's Smile and Sam. Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. And I love talking to you guys. Hit me up. Ripper Nutrition, they've jumped on board with me. West Coast Chiropractic, they're here in Temecula, California. Corey Cryotherapy, they've been working with me for a while now. And of course, my strength and conditioning team, Dynamic Fitness, they are building champions, and I'm just a small piece of proof of that. They've got some studs working with them.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.